At exactly 2 in the morning, an Israeli F-35 fighter jet roars to life, its engines almost silent, but the mission's tension loud enough to rattle the night air. In this video, we uncover what truly happens when this cutting-edge stealth aircraft attempts to slip into Iranian airspace, where defenses claim they can detect even the most invisible targets. Stay until the end because what you discover might change how you view modern air power and the hidden strategies that shape our world. Imagine a black canvas sky lit only by starlight and the distant glow of city lights below. The F-35 ascends with purpose, its stealthy shape designed to hide it from watchful eyes. Yet far across the horizon, Iran's network of radar arrays and electronic sensors stands ready, scanning every inch of airspace for any unnatural trace. Some say these defenses are overrated. Others swear they could expose flaws in even the finest stealth technology. For decades, many believed that planes like the F-35 could fly anywhere undetected. Now, whispers suggest that new radar systems, advanced software, and cunning tactics might turn that old belief upside down. How real is this threat? Does Iran truly have the power to spot an F-35 in pitch darkness? Or is it all propaganda meant to scare potential enemies? And if they do see the plane, what can they do about it? Join me as we dive deeper into these questions, untangle the facts from myths, and explore how one late-night takeoff could redefine the future of air warfare. In the stillness of a Persian Gulf night, the Israeli F-35 moves like a ghost. Its sleek design and special coatings make it harder for regular radar to catch. Inside the cockpit, the pilot checks the electronic displays, seeing only a calm set of readings. No signs of danger, no alarms. Every instrument echoes the same message: you are invisible. Yet that soothing sense of safety does not last. After several minutes, a sudden beep breaks the silence. A bright red light on the console blinks radar lock. This should not be possible, at least not according to the usual playbook of stealth missions. The pilot's heart pounds. If the F-35 is truly under radar lock, the mission is in jeopardy. The pilot braces for the next alert. Within seconds, a missile warning flashes. Somewhere down below, an Iranian air defense battery is preparing to launch. Now the pilot must decide. Should they veer off the path and abort the mission? Or should they push forward and trust the plane's countermeasures to outsmart this unexpected threat? A swirl of questions surge through the pilot's mind. There is no immediate answer. The training says stealth jets rarely face direct radar locks, especially at this stage of flight. But this time, the script is flipped. To grasp how it reached this point, you have to look at the nature of stealth itself. Traditional radar systems send out radio waves at certain frequencies. Stealth technology often aims to absorb or deflect those waves. That works against many high-frequency radars. But lower-frequency radars, which have longer wavelengths, can sometimes detect shapes once considered invisible. If an enemy invests enough resources into these older but more robust systems, they can notice anomalies in the sky. Then they can hand over refined data to faster, more precise radars for the final lock-on. Word has circulated that Iranian forces have been working on low-frequency radar for years. They also combine that hardware with advanced signal processing and perhaps unique algorithms. This union of old and new can catch a stealth jet off guard. To add an extra layer of detection, they use infrared tracking drones, patrolling overhead like mechanical hawks. These drones look for heat signatures and feed that data to the ground. Even the best stealth coating cannot hide the heat from a jet engine, though it might reduce it. That sets the stage for the pilot's sudden alarm. It means that while the F-35 is state-of-the-art, it may not be safe from evolving defenses. A single technology alone might not be enough to detect a plane designed to slip under the radar. But when you merge many methods, low-frequency detection, infrared scans, electronic eavesdropping, the advantage of stealth can shrink. Yet detecting the plane is only half the story. To take it down, an air defense system needs a weapon that can lock on accurately. Iran claims it has missiles designed for precisely this scenario. These weapons rely on specialized seekers that combine radar tracking and infrared guidance. Even if the jet tries to confuse the radar with electronic warfare or special flares, the missile's multi-mode guidance might keep it on track. This scenario raises an alarming possibility. The stealth advantage might not be as absolute as once believed. In response, the pilot tries standard evasive maneuvers. The nose dips, the wings roll, and the jet sweeps out of the direct path of any threat. The pilot releases a flurry of countermeasures. Electronic signals attempt to jam the enemy radar. Flares burn bright, hoping to lure an infrared seeker away from the jet's actual heat signature. For a tense few seconds, the pilot's fate hangs in the balance. If the advanced missile stays locked, the mission is doomed. If the pilot's moves work, stealth regains its upper hand. Nobody outside the cockpit knows the outcome at this moment. Perhaps the missile loses its lock and soars off into empty sky. Perhaps the pilot is forced to fire an anti-radiation missile toward the enemy radar to blind them, risking a louder engagement than planned. The mission intended to be silent now turns into a game of cat and mouse, with both sides pushing technology to its limit. Back at the air defense station, the operators hustle around their screens. They see a faint contact that appears and disappears. Their system has a set of guidelines telling them when to engage. Time is short, mistakes are costly, and the tension is sky high. They might wait for a clearer lock to avoid wasting a valuable missile. Or they might trust their cutting-edge software that says, yes, this is a target. Their chain of command weighs the risks. A single wrong move could lead to a dramatic escalation. Yet there is also a crucial psychological angle. The entire point of a stealth mission at 2 in the morning is to catch defenses off guard, to slip in and out without leaving a footprint. If the defenders can break that mystique and force the pilot into frantic evasive maneuvers, they have already scored a partial win. Even if the plane escapes unharmed, the event proves stealth is not unbeatable. That knowledge alone might embolden the defense forces. Next time, they might be more confident, more aggressive. For years, experts have debated whether the F-35 is the future of air combat or just an expensive tool overshadowed by cheaper drones and advanced missiles. One side says the F-35's sensors, networked data sharing, and stealth make it unparalleled. Another side points out that new radars and new approaches to warfare are popping up all over the world. Russia, China, and even smaller nations are experimenting with layered defenses that combine drones, radars, and electronic attacks. In Iran's case, the strategy is to merge multiple detection platforms into a single web of information. Low-frequency radars see one piece of the puzzle, infrared scanners see another, and electronic signal monitors see yet another. Each system alone might not be enough to guarantee a lock on the F-35, but when you piece them all together, you can reduce the plane's margin of invisibility. This synergy is what many defense analysts call the next leap in anti-air warfare. Once the plane is pinpointed, the next question is how to repel or destroy it. Iran claims it has missiles that can track low radar cross-section targets by using combined radar and infrared seekers. They also boast advanced electronic warfare tools that can jam the plane's own systems or even hack into communications. These claims are met with skepticism in some circles. Others insist that even if Iran is only partway there, the future holds major risk for stealth aircraft if the technology matures. At the same time, Israel, the United States, and other countries that use the F-35 are not standing still. They continually test new software upgrades for the plane's systems. They experiment with better stealth coatings, improved data fusion, and standoff weapons that allow the plane to strike from greater distances. The plan is simple. If the enemy might see you sooner than before, you respond by firing your weapons from farther away, minimizing the exposure window. But that tactic creates another layer of complications. Launching from farther away means you rely more on guided munitions that must travel a long distance, potentially giving the enemy more time to react or jam incoming threats. It also forces the jet to carry heavier or more specialized weapons, possibly affecting its stealth profile. As technology escalates on both sides, it becomes a race to see which part of the puzzle lags behind. Stealth? Radar detection? Missile guidance? Electronic warfare? Each part competes to stay one step ahead. Meanwhile, the role of drones keeps growing. Drones do not carry pilots, so they can be more expendable. Countries can send swarms of smaller drones to test or overwhelm air defenses, revealing radar positions. They can act as decoys or gather intelligence. The F-35 in such a scenario could hang back, coordinating the drone swarm via its advanced data systems. If the ground defenses focus on the drones, the stealth jet might slip by unnoticed. If they switch to the jet, the drones might saturate the defenses. This multi-layer approach is increasingly shaping modern warfare. Iran also has its own drone program. They might use drones to spot stealth jets with high-powered cameras, thermal imaging, or even to physically intercept them. This interplay of drones, radars, and stealth jets suggests that the next conflict in the skies over the Middle East will be far more complex than the stealth missions of years past. Each side is adapting, learning, and preparing for what they believe is an inevitable showdown. Some wonder if the age of manned fighters is fading. If stealth can be defeated by improved radars and layered defense networks, why risk a pilot's life? Others argue that there is still no replacement for the human mind in critical, fast-evolving situations. Pilots bring intuition and adaptability that machines still struggle to replicate. But software is advancing at a stunning rate, and artificial intelligence might soon assist or even replace parts of the pilot's job. Iran, in particular, invests in new systems that merge data from ground radars, drones, and satellites. The more integrated this network becomes, the fewer places a stealth jet can hide. The pilot might think they are safe behind a cloak of radar-absorbing paint, but multiple detection methods combined can see beyond that facade. This dynamic reveals a central truth. Stealth does not mean absolute invisibility, but rather a lower chance of detection. As detection methods get better, that chance continues to rise. The scenario of an Israeli F-35 taking off at 2 a.m. raises tough questions for military planners everywhere. Are the old assumptions about stealth's invulnerability still valid? Or do they need to invest even more in next-generation aircraft designs with new materials and shapes that can outsmart low-frequency radar? Do they need to spend heavily on electronic warfare to blind or jam the enemy's many eyes? Should they push for drone swarms to saturate defenses and keep the pilot out of harm's way? Each option has pros and cons. Stealth design is expensive. Electronic warfare is complex and can be countered with encryption and spread-spectrum technologies. Drone swarms need sophisticated control systems and can be jammed or hijacked if the enemy cracks their communication links. And while many countries race to field these capabilities, the technology gap is closing fast. All of this means that a once simple midnight stealth operation is now anything but simple. The moment that F-35 climbs above the runway, the clock starts ticking. Every radar ping, every infrared sweep, and every electronic signal could expose it. If an Iranian battery gains a solid lock, a lethal missile might follow. Even if the mission succeeds and the F-35 evades detection, the risk level is far higher than it once was. Many experts see a bigger trend at work. The future of warfare is not about single platforms like a stealth jet dominating all. It is about systems working together. The pilot in the cockpit of the F-35 relies on data from satellites, friendly radars, and intelligence networks. Iran's air defense crew relies on a patchwork of sensors, drones, and advanced missiles. The side that best fuses these assets wins the advantage. This conflict of technologies is becoming a global affair. The West invests fortunes in planes like the F-35 and the next-generation B-21 stealth bomber. Nations like Iran focus on asymmetric tactics, trying to level the playing field with cheaper but clever methods. They may not have fleets of stealth jets, but they can develop radars that pick up stealth signals, electronic tools to jam or confuse, and missile systems that punish planes that come too close. This approach has been seen in other places too. Advanced surface-to-air systems in Russia and China have proven a serious concern for NATO and allied aircraft. But let's circle back to that pilot in the cockpit at 2 a.m., hearing the radar lock alarm. A surge of adrenaline hits. The mission objective is clear: gather data, or perhaps photograph a target, maybe even strike a key facility. Every action must be balanced against the possibility of total compromise. If the pilot strays too far into defended territory, it might be impossible to escape without taking fire. If they stay too far back, the mission might fail to achieve its goal. Time is running out, and the situation changes by the second. That is the razor's edge of modern aerial missions. Even with the world's most advanced jet, the pilot cannot relax. Electronic displays flicker as the plane's systems run constant diagnostics, scanning the environment for signs of enemy tracking signals. The tension in the cockpit is palpable. Yet this is precisely what the pilot has trained for: countless hours in simulators, practicing how to dodge radar locks and evade missiles. The question is, will real combat match the simulators, or has the enemy's technology evolved beyond what the training covered? News of incidents like these, where stealth jets may have been detected, sometimes leaks out in rumors. Official confirmations are rare. Governments do not want to reveal if their prized aircraft was tracked by an enemy. They do not want to expose weaknesses or show that their billion-dollar programs might have flaws. On the other side, defenders might not want to reveal exactly how they tracked a stealth jet, keeping that data secret so the enemy cannot adapt. This cloak and dagger dynamic creates an atmosphere where truth is hard to confirm. Still, experts piece together bits of evidence from satellite images, statements by officials, or open-source intelligence on newly deployed radars. They try to figure out if stealth jets really got close to a target undetected, or if they faced near disaster. Sometimes footage appears online showing missile trails in the night sky, with claims about what was being targeted. Discerning fact from fiction is a challenge. But one thing is certain. As soon as a stealth jet is confirmed to be vulnerable, it changes the calculations of every military strategy. Stealth was once deemed almost magical, offering near immunity to older air defense systems. Now that aura of invincibility might be fading. This does not mean the F-35 is obsolete. It still represents one of the most sophisticated flying machines in history, blending sensor fusion, advanced avionics, and a design that reduces detection. But it does mean that future missions must acknowledge the growing complexity of enemy defenses. In response, we see a constant cycle of upgrades. Software updates can enhance the F-35's detection of radar signals, letting the pilot sense an enemy's long-frequency sweep earlier. New materials for the plane's skin might reflect radar waves differently. Better data links can let it coordinate with drones or other aircraft for decoys, illusions, or saturation tactics. The race is ongoing with massive budgets at stake. Iran, for its part, will not stop innovating either. They continually boast of new radar breakthroughs or new missiles with longer range and better seekers. While some claims might be exaggerated, there is a pattern of improvement. They also invest in jamming and cyber warfare to gain an edge in the unseen battles of modern war. If a stealth jet software can be hacked mid-flight, the entire approach to combat changes overnight. That is why the question, what happens when an Israeli F-35 Lightning fighter takes off at 2 a.m., is more than just a scene of a plane in the sky. It is a snapshot of a global trend. It points to the fundamental shift in air power thinking. Stealth alone is no guarantee. Technology that was once unstoppable can now be held in check by layered defenses. The pilot's skill and training are tested like never before. The safety of that pilot and the success of the mission depends on a chain of technology, each link tested by an adversary determined to break it. As you can see, the stakes are enormous. If the F-35 cannot reliably slip through advanced radar networks, then strategic plans must adapt. The entire premise of certain operations might shift. Instead of direct overflights, countries might favor standoff tactics with cruise missiles or drone swarms. Or they might develop new stealth techniques that outsmart even the best radars. Nothing is static. Every adaptation on one side triggers a counteraction on the other. And so we arrive at a new era. When that Israeli F-35 vanishes into the night sky, the watchers below do not simply go to sleep. They wait, scanning, tracking, and learning. The pilot up there knows every beep on the radar warning system is a potential life-or-death challenge. This is the face of modern air warfare. Layered, uncertain, technologically intense, and always evolving. Stay with this journey in your mind. Picture the plane's engines humming through the cold night air as the pilot peers down at the flickers of light from Iranian cities. Picture the defenders watching their monitors, waiting for even the slightest twitch on the radar screen that suggests an intruder. Then picture the unstoppable tension when the alarm finally sounds. This scenario is not just about one late-night mission. It is about the very future of how nations project power, defend their skies, and push the boundaries of what is possible with technology and human skill. Thank you for staying with me through this deep look into what really unfolds when an Israeli F-35 streaks across the sky at 2 in the morning. If you want more content like this, covering stealth secrets, high-tech warfare, and the shifting balance of power, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our latest videos. Don't forget to like this video if you found it insightful, and comment below with your thoughts on the future of stealth technology. Your support and feedback help us continue exploring these gripping topics, so hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for more.